Welcome to Tough Crowd. That's not so hard, is it? Today, we're talking about violations of rights based on two creepy stories that happened yesterday. The first story is that there's a jail in Macy's for people who are accused of shoplifting. There's a jail where you can actually, if you don't want to deal with the cops, they'll deal with you in there. You pay 5 times the penalty or something. Now, I know how that is. I spent 2 years in Target prison. I'm not kidding. I was sentenced to Nordstrom's, but a judge said it was overcrowded. And it was, my cousin had a hard, he was in Home Depot. I'm not kidding. They make you build your own cell in that place. They had him tied up with a garden hose and to a 5-piece patio set. The hardest time I ever did, and this is not funny, I really, they sodomized me with a totes umbrella in TJ Maxx. All right. Now, luckily, they brought some body oil at Crabtree and Elvillin, but it was still pretty brutal, you know? All right, story number 2 is there's a New York law professor who resigned after technicians found kiddie porn in his computer. All right, first of all, if you're into kiddie porn, you better learn how to fix your own computer, all right? If this guy is dumb enough to be a pedophile, then he calls them in, hey guys, something's wrong with my files, could you down? He does what he gets. And I believe here's where the whole death penalty thing, and this is why I think it's important. If you're into kiddie porn, whatever happened, I understand, but I know you missed the loosest interpretation of humanity living together that we possibly could have. So we gotta, you know, just kill you and you re-audition for the human race in a couple of 100 years. You know what I mean? What's that? Oh boy. Does your employer have the right to monitor your computer, Dane?
Listen, boss, you can shove a lipstick camera up my ass, you can watch me play mahjong all day long, but if that vending machine is not stocked, if that dwindles down to a bag of stale peanuts and a Charleston chew, I will kill you.
All right. Ellen.
Well, I never had a job with a computer unless you count the register at that place where they make the 2 old beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese. But if I did and some nosy-ass white bitch supervisor, wait a minute, that's redundant. Anyway, if she found, you know, the nappy-headed Negro that I have found on psychicfriends.com that's going to eat my coochie on Friday, well, I guess that'd be all right.
All right. Ready? Jay.
Yes.
All right. Nick.
No, they don't have the right unless you work for the Department of Child Welfare and your idea of Casual Friday is showing up wearing leather chaps and a ball gag.
All right, guys.
What's a ball gag?
Shut up. Those little red things. I'll tell you, I'd love to have a nice game of mahjong with you guys.
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
Mahjong.
Mahjong.
That and strong bad. That's like the 2 things everybody does on the. You know,
I know, but I'm saying you pronounce it wrong. Mahjong.
I said it right. Mahjong.
Mahjong.
I think we should move on.
Mahjong.
Mahjong.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that I was saying it improperly. Mahjong.
Your day doesn't stop once you hit the stage, huh? You see backstage, it's like Hearts of Darkness. You're on in 5. All right, easy.
Jay, is this an infringement on the rights of this professor?
Well, I'd like to know where he got his law degree. DeVry? Jesus, this guy's a lawyer, and he's like calling technicians in, like you said, to pull up like his kiddie porn, you know. Whenever I'm around you, Colin, I start talking like you. I mean, you know, all of a sudden. Next thing you know, I think this guy should, he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail because he thinks an 18-year-old is, you know, too masculine. I think that's too lenient. I think he should spend 10 years in jail and have to watch Dane Cook's act.
Oh.
Holy jeez.
It's not DeVry, it's DeVry.
Mahjong DeVry. All these are all foreign words. Mahjong DeVry is a French word. Now, do you guys think privacy matters even when you're going after pedophiles? Does it still matter that these guys, they went into his computer, into his, you know, into all his files? Which they probably do to everybody to find porno pictures. You would do the same thing if you were a computer tech.
Well, now they have software that can track where you've gone on the internet. You don't need that to catch me. Just, you know, pull my shades down, turn on a black light. I got more DNA, you know, on my my mouse pad, you know, than they did a bedspread at Red Roof Inn. That's a lot of work.
You're not supposed to share, right? And I guess that's.
It was a beautiful visual.
I have no problem with people following where I surf on the web. If, you know, if it's general knowledge that I'm on bangbus.com making maps of Hawaii on my own carpet, then God bless America.
Bang bus.
No, but
Nice.
Yeah.
I think that he should have gotten caught, because if he's a college professor, you know, at NYU, and if he can't intimidate and get, you know, laid the old-fashioned way by intimidating co-eds, you know, then he should get caught. You know, I mean, they're homesick kids, you know,
Yeah.
and
But
they
they
need
are too
grades.
old for him in a way. He likes the little kids.
Oh, well, then there's a park across the street. You know, I've been there.
Right, Washington Square Park. She's coming up with answers. They're not saying
You know
good
what I'm
ones, but the
saying? I'm not,
solutions.
you know.
He's already reapplied to be a teacher at a kindergarten.
Oh, no.
Inside Macy's. Guess what, guys? Inside Macy's, Manhattan, suspected shoplifters are led to a room every day where they're body searched and handcuffed by security guards and asked to pay penalties without police involvement. I'm getting hard on for it, but is this fair, Ellen?
Well, you know what, Colin? I'm really upset that you would ask me that question. You know.
Really?
Yeah.
You think that was profiling that I asked you?
Yeah, a little
hope
bit,
so.
and I'm insulted that you would even think that I would, you know, shop at Macy's, let alone steal from there. I only steal at Neiman Marcus, and you know, when I find myself handcuffed, it's not my civil rights that I want violated. I want the Abner Louima suite, if you know what I'm talking about. Write that down, Nick. Okay, thank you very much.
She's not playing games.
No, I'm not. I'm not
She
playing.
is not playing games. What about...
You know Abner, don't you?
Yeah, I'm familiar with his work.
So they have their own little... They have their own little court system at Macy's.
Yeah.
Right? That's the issue. Which is good, because our court systems are already clogged, right?
Right.
But you want to have a trial for, you know, some kid who boosted a George Foreman girl the night before Kwanzaa? Come on, and give him a second.
He had to go.
Wait a minute.
Come
Now,
on.
why are people assuming that the guy that stole the thing is black in that joke?
Yeah.
It's a white kid stealing it for a black friend. That's how I read it.
See that?
Does that mean, too, that you need to hire, like, a Macy's attorney? I mean, like the lady from Ladies Lingerie is now my legal counsel.
We have a Jacobian Myers,
Bailiff
actually.
is from Foot Locker.
The referee comes
Foot
in
Locker is not inside of Macy's.
No, it's not.
But the referee comes
part
in
of the
from
mall.
Foot Locker to
But
deliberate.
I'd rather be held in...
We don't have malls in New York.
I'd rather be held in a pen
got
at
one awful one.
Macy's.
What's that?
I'd rather be held in a pen at Macy's than like a New York pen next to some rapist Muslim. I'd rather be next to like a 6-year-old Jewish woman who lifted some Tupperware. What do you mean?
Well, the point is, should she like that one? See,
I'm glad.
the hell with it. Look, I thought we had something, you people, you and me. Please don't leave me alone with these people here. We'll be right back. Okay. Oh. In the never-ending problems, you know, the racial tensions in the world, a lawsuit charges that Abercrombie and Fitch discriminates against Hispanics, Asians, and blacks in the hiring of its floor people. Now, let me tell you something. Black kids are smart, funny, deserve to work like anybody else. But can I speak honestly? You're not the most engaging customer service representatives I've ever met. I go into Foot Locker. First of all, they never let you know that they work there, so it turns into a racial thing right away. You're like, I'm sorry, do you work here? Yo, I gotta work here because I'm black. I'm sorry, do you not work? Oh, I can't have a job now? They like to mess with the Blancos unpopular, okay? I'm not lying. This sounds like a joke. I saw a sign in Foot Locker that said the customer is always white. Okay, that was a joke, but let me tell you something else. I knew some of those kids from Macy's prison, and I'm not making that part up. Nick, should a company be able to brand a product as they see fit?
Brand a product? What do you do?
Oh, geez, I don't know. Do you really listen to me? The first time you ever listen to one of my questions. Should a company be able to,
It's like I studied for a math test. Now you're asking me an English question. Well, Abercrombie and Fitch was the big article because in Boston they have 106 whites, 3 blacks, and a Hispanic, which sounds about right to me. But I don't have a problem with the racial makeup. It's the, you know, coloreds-only fitting rooms I thought was way out of line.
He's got an important point, but what do you guys think? Should businesses be representational ethnically of all ethnic groups, or they all have the proportion?
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And you know what? We marched. You know, we marched. And we
Oh, do
sang
we
the
ever
songs.
know.
We marched and we sang the songs, and we had the railroad with the woman that got hit in the head, right?
Tubman.
And it was not so that we could work at Abercrombie & Fitch folding socks, okay? So that's not like a big thing for us, okay? You know what I'm saying? And Abercrombie & Fitch is Latin for flat ass. Have you ever tried to put on those jeans? They don't fit us, okay? They're not for us, and we want you to have a space that's yours.
I think
you know what I'm saying?
thank you.
We want you to have a space that's yours.
I'm just looking at the photo. I want to know what Woody Allen's wife is doing, boycotting. So, you know, they can't pronounce it. That's why they boycott. Abercrombie & Fitch.
I love coming here.
Look, if I
They
went
need
in
a
and
bigger piece of cardboard.
yeah, they do. They ran out of cardboard. Oh, sorry. Look, what would happen right now if I walked down to the village and applied for a job to be a floor manager at Fat Farm? They'd freestyle me out onto the sidewalk.
It's true, man.
Everything is
It's
not
true.
for you, you know what
That's
I'm saying?
right.
Why is
It's your
everything for you?
arrogance that
Let
have.
Abercrombie
We
and
don't
Fitch-
want to work there. I don't know
Apparently
who wrote this
they-
article. I think it was a slow news day. We don't
I
want to
cannot
work
figure
at,
you out.
you
Pick a
can
side of the
wanna
fence
work
and stay on it.
We're so obsessed with diversity. Every commercial, you know, when guys get together to watch football on Sunday, it's not an Eskimo on a sled, an Indian in a headdress. You know what I mean? A Chinese guy with a wok. I mean, geez, it might be 4 white guys watching the game. Can we have that commercial? Or 4 black guys, or 4, you know, Down syndrome kids? Come on.
A Portland pizza chain has hired homeless people to wear signs. They're paid in pizza, soda, and a few dollars. They claim they're just trying to help the homeless. Dane, are they exploiting homeless people and robbing them of their dignity?
I think that this could get a lot worse. I think what's eventually going to nothing. What's eventually going to happen is big corporations will start, you know, using these homeless guys like, you know, or like race cars or billboards. You know, they'll have like a big Pennzoil patch on their chest, and this guy, Crazy Dougie over here, he's going to be wearing a zestfully clean hat. He hasn't showered in 4 weeks.
But even this homeless guy looks like, you know, he's in the damn Spin Doctors or something, you know? Okay, he was in the Spin Doctors, but look, you know what I'm saying? Can't they get a real homeless
I
thing?
love that you said Portland. I mean, let's sum it up. The Pacific Northwest, the place that, you know, they hug trees and give needles out to heroin addicts, are the same people that are going to cure the homeless problem with a Pizzone. And the guy's wearing a weed hat. Like, we don't know where the money's going.
Yeah, you're right.
Of course he's hungry for pizza
You're right.
schnitzel. He's wearing a weed hat.
Good call. Good catch.
I guarantee you, after they gave him the pizza, he did ask for money anyway.
All right, now this is a subject that I've been wanting to get to for a long time. Six Flags is hosting Ozfest this summer. In upstate New York, yet they're banning Marilyn Manson from performing, okay? Now, my personal opinion is Ozzy got him booted off the tour because his kids were probably like, yeah, Marilyn Manson stinks, you know, Dad, you're corny. You know, so he got rid of him. But they're saying it's because of his music as opposed to Ozzy. So this is causing some controversy. Anybody have an opinion on Six Flags?
They don't want Marilyn Manson at Six Flags. They don't want the kids throwing up before they go on the roller coaster.
I don't get that at all.
I don't either, but they laugh. So.
Look, the bottom line is this. Isn't it all over when these guys are playing at Six Flags anyway? Isn't it dangerous gone?
That's the big point, right? Look, Marilyn Manson should headline the tour because he was inside Rose McGowan.
Yeah, well, that's not. I agree with that.
They said they don't want.
How'd he pull that one?
They don't want him there because he has plastic breasts and eye contacts. I guess I'm not bringing my wife to Six Flags.
As the wives of Henry VIII tried to say, we'll be right back. I don't get that one either.